really appreciate your punctuality.
All right. Good morning. The May 7th, 2024 School Land Board meeting will come to order. This meeting of the School Land Board is being held in person at 1700 North Congress Avenue, Stephen F. Austin Building. Access to the meeting by members of the public was published in advance in the Texas Register in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Any member of the public who wishes to address the School Land Board may do so during the public comment period. Will the board secretary please call the roll?
Chairwoman Buckingham,
Here.
Ms. Burke, Mr. Curley,
Here.
Mr. Neal, Mr. Burciaga.
Here.
All right, there being 3 members in attendance, a quorum is present, and I now call this meeting to order again. At this time, if you're able, please stand with me, and we will first do the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag and then Texas. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right. Okay, first item in the agenda is approval of the minutes from the April 16th, 2024 School Land Board meeting. Members, any discussion before we vote?
None.
Any objection to approving these unanimous consent?
Nope.
All right, hearing no objection, the minutes are approved by unanimous consent. Item number 2, public comment period. Members of the public may address the School Land Board concerning any matter within the authority of the board. As chairwoman, I'm limiting the length of time available to each speaker to 2 minutes, and the board secretary shall keep track of time. Do we have anyone in attendance who wishes to address the board on any board matter?
Not at this time.
Nope. All right, we do not, so we'll move on to item number 3, which is approval of the consent agenda. Members, the agenda is before you. Are there any extractions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, any discussion? Okay,
I move for approval.
all right.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
So none are opposed. Motion's made, seconded, and carries by unanimous vote to approve the consent agenda. Next item, number 4, is consideration and possible action to adopt the amendments to Title 31, Texas Administrative Code 9.81, pooling and unitizing of state property. And the chair recognizes Ken Mills to present item number 4.
Good morning, Commissioner, board members. You may recall that in February, staff recommended publication for comment in the Texas Register, a set of amendments to this Rule 9.81, really housekeeping just to bring current the actual application deadline for submittals for pooling and production sharing agreements. It added production sharing agreements to the rule, which hadn't previously been in there, and then just cleaned up when the board actually meets and who's on it. This rule was published in the Texas Register in its March 22nd, 2024 edition, and no public comments were received at all. So at this time, staff recommends adoption of these amendments. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
None.
Okay, other comments or discussion? All right, do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
All right.
Second.
All right, motion is made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
None are opposed, so motion's made, seconded, and carries by unanimous vote to approve item number 4. Next item on the agenda, number 5, is consideration and possible action to authorize publication of rulemaking for Title 31, Texas Administrative Code, Section 151.6, procedures for the release of funds from the real estate special fund account in the Texas Register, and the chair recognizes Jeff Gordon to present item number 5.
Good morning, Commissioner, members. Again, Jeff Gordon, General Counsel for the Texas General Land Office. Item 5 is a proposed rulemaking to update an existing SLB rule that is, quite frankly, out of date. It stems from the creation of what is referred to as the Texas PSF Corporation, Permanent School Fund Corporation, which was created by the legislature in 2021, became effective January 1st, 2023. I know most of you are familiar with it, but of what the Permanent School Fund Corporation now does. It's essentially a quasi-governmental organization, corporation that in which they combined the majority of the investments that were managed by both School Land Board for years and TEA, put them into this one corporation. They also transferred a number of our former investment employees of both SLB, GLO, and TEA to this corporation. They became employees of that corporation. We are also required now to regularly transfer oil and gas mineral revenues to them, which they're supposed to use for investments, although we can retain a portion of those revenues for operations, management of our PSF assets that are under your direction, as well as for real estate investments, which you all have approved in the last year, such as like the Johnson development deal and others. Despite the creation and combination of all these assets and investments into this corporation, SLB still retained the authority to make distributions, if it so chooses, from the available school fund, to the available school from what's called the RESFA, the Real Estate Special Fund Account, which is a PSF dedicated account where our revenues and things that go into from GLO management of things. And traditionally for years, and I know Mr. Barciaga, you were involved in some of the kind of the ones which we made when that fund was before PSF Corporation, where the board would vote every even numbered year as to how much it would then make a distribution in the next fiscal year. We still the SLB, y'all still have that authority, but times have changed. The rule is required by statute, and that's in the memo I sent you all. The rule still requires us to have a rule in place to establish the procedures for y'all to determine when and how you're going to distribute it. But it's a very different world than what that rule first contemplated when it was formed and created in 2016. If you had a chance to review the rule, it talks about such things as using 6% of the 16-quarter trailing market of the real assets investment portfolio. CIO does that. Well, we no longer have a CIO here at the GLO. We no longer have the real assets investment portfolio because those were assets that were transferred to PSF. So we need to have a rule in place that follows the law, but also reflects what is the current state of the SLB and PSF Corporation. And so working with the CFO and financial management here at GLO, we developed a rule which is before you in the memo that reflects kind of the current situation. It is a much simpler rule, as you might imagine, and what it will require the CFO to come to you later this fall and advise you all.
My apologies.
No. Advise you all what is available in the RESFA that would be available for you all to distribute. The CFO will have, obviously we're looking at a number of things, which is pending investments that may be done that you all still approve, operations, things like that. So it still meets the letter of the statute, but also reflects the reality of where we are right now. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about the rule or why we're in this situation right now.
Questions?
Commissioner, I'll move for approval.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right. Motion is made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
None are opposed. The motion is made, seconded, and carries by unanimous vote to approve item number 5. Next item on the agenda is number 6, consideration and possible action to authorize publication of rulemaking for Title 31, Texas Administrative Code, Chapter 155, Subchapter A, Coastal Public Lands, Section 155.15 in the Texas Register. And the chair recognizes David Wells to present item number 6.
Good morning, David Wells with Asset Management. I have item number 6, and I won't read the whole item the Commissioner just read, but it relates to addressing rates for our coastal leases. If you'll recall, staff brought a concern before the board back in February to get some board feedback as it related to commercial rates for properties along the coast based on land values, and those land values were increasing substantially in the last 5 to 10 years. And as those leases were coming up for renewal, their rental rates were increasing 3, 4, 5 times. And we wanted to address them, treat them fairly, and kind of standardize the rates across the coast. So based on your feedback and commissioners' feedback, what we're proposing before the board today is to eliminate the land value component of how we calculate rent and just use a standard per square foot rate for everyone on the coast. So previously, we would calculate it based on a land value, so on a per square foot basis, and then we would do land value, and we would take the higher of the two. And what was getting, the feedback we were getting was based on the leases that had the land value where it was increasing substantially areas, South Padre, Clear Lake, those sorts of areas. So we figured the simplest solution, it'll streamline things for staff, it'll allow predictability for our lessees, is to just use a component formula, which is just a per square foot formula that we use for everyone on the coast. Everyone would pay the same rate, everyone would see the same increases, and there would be, it wouldn't depend on where you are or what your neighbor's land value is, those sorts of issues. That's the proposal on the commercial front. Coastal Field Operations also wanted to address some of the similar concerns and also do some cleanup on their administrative side of their proposal. So they want to address rates related to breakwaters, jetties, groins, and fill on theirs. Most of it is just standardizing the way breakwaters, jetties, and groins are charged for, and then also capping their fill charge at $1 per square foot. And as you'll recall, a couple Coastal Field Operations staff have presented some items before you in the past few months that fit this $1 per square foot fill criteria, where they had to come to the board for approval because that $1 per square foot was less than what they would have to charge according to the current schedule. So this would allow the field staff to cap those fill charges at $1 per square foot and keep consistent with what we charge on the commercial side for the fill as well. Happy to answer any questions.
So in the past, you would use independent third parties to give you land values, is that right?
Yes, we would use the county appraisal district values.
Okay, and then from there you would get the square foot.
So our field staff goes and does inspections and sends us a report that says this, for example, has a 1,000 square foot pier on it. Then the way we work is there's a formula that's spelled out or was spelled out in the administrative code. We would go to the appraisal district site, get a per square foot land value from the appraisal site, plug that into this formula with the square footage, and that would give us a rental rate. It's a complicated formula, but basically it was based on a land value, an 8.55% rate of return, and then how big the project was.
It had land value in it.
It did have land value in it.
So without the land value now, how are you coming up with an arbitrary square foot number?
So now it's just based on a standard, depending on what it is. So for example, a pier would be 32 cents per square foot. Fill would be $1 per square foot. So just depending on what activity they have, we just charge per the square foot of what activity they have.
Okay, but it's not tied to the land value.
Right, it is no longer tied to the land value. So
Somewhere inside your group, you guys just decide that was the appropriate rate.
right, so previously we had discussed options such as capping the increases at 150%. We talked about a couple other solutions, but at the end of the day, so that everyone on the coast knew what they were paying and everyone was paying the same, and to get an equitable, so that everyone was on equal footing as far as their rates, this seemed like the most fair way. And additionally, one point I needed to mention is that this will also include an increase based on CPI every 5 years to these rates. So right now, there's no built-in automatic increase to these set rates. And although we are giving up a little bit of revenue in the short term with giving up the land value calculations, in the long run, with doing these flat rate CPI increases, we'll end up collecting more revenue just by staying current.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
Question on the CPI adjustment. So 5 years from the date the rule goes into effect, on the 5-year anniversary, we'll look at the CPIU on that date and compare it to the effective date. The difference between the two will be the escalation.
Yes, sir, yes.
Across-
The
okay.
CPI for I know there's several CPIs, so
Right,
CPIU, right. We'll
Thank
look
you.
at
Okay.
August 1st of 2024 to August 1st of 2029, whatever the dates end up lining
Okay,
up.
all right. Thank you.
Anything else? No, I think this was this was harder to do than we thought out of the gate, right? But it wasn't fair if you had someone who'd had a dock for a long time and then someone built a mega mansion next to them and then their dock went up 400% in price. That was what we're trying to not have happen.
Yep.
So I think we've landed at a pretty good spot. But any other questions? Do I hear a motion?
I motion to approve.
Second?
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion's made, seconded, and carries unanimously to approve item number 6. Next item on the agenda, number 7, is consideration and possible action on the bids received for the May 7th, 2024 oil and gas online lease sale. And the chair recognizes Deborah Cantu to present item number 7.
Good morning, Deborah Cantu, Energy Resources. We would like to request about a 15 to 20-minute break. We're still tabulating the bids.
Okay,
We will be back as soon as we are done.
all right. Okay, well, we will just wait for y'all to finish, and so we'll just.
Does Debbie want to sing a
standing at
song while we're
ease.
waiting?
No, you're first. You're first.
I don't think you want me to sing a song, sir. I will be back. Thank you.
We'll stand at ease until you have that, because that concludes our agenda, so. we will reconvene because it seems like we have our results.
Yes, we do.
Okay, and the chair recognizes Deborah Cantu to present item number 7.
We can see it over there, too.
Oh, it's going over there.
There we go. Now it's on both.
Good morning again, Deborah Cantu, Energy Resources. Thank you for your patience this morning, much appreciated. Staff recommends approval of 23 leases, which all met the minimum per acre bonus and all other terms and conditions. Total of 23 high bids for a total of $10,777,794.81, which averages to $7,131.00 per acre. Any questions?
By chance, during the heydays, what was acreage selling for? I mean, it still seems, if I look at 320 acres for 2.5 million, that, it doesn't tell you what county we're in, right?
I can just take a big guess that that's going to be in Reeves County. That's going to be right in the
Reeves, yeah, the heart, yeah.
of everything.
Yeah.
So as I read the bids, after you guys approve all the leases, you're going to see some that are going to have really high, 320 acres at 7 million. That's going to be right in the middle of the Delaware Basin. And then you're going to have some that just look like very little amounts. Those are going to be probably a river tract that,
Right, yeah.
that type of
Yeah, I
thing.
understand, yeah. Well, it's kind of like Reeves County still holding value then.
Yes, yes, sir, it is.
Okay. I have no questions.
Okay,
No questions.
all right. Do I hear a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
All right, motion's made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion's made, seconded, and carries unanimously to approve item number 7. That concludes the posted board agenda. Does any board member wish to be recognized to provide any further comments or discussion? All right, there being no,
I still need to read the bids in the record.
oh, okay,
Sorry,
we'll do that.
Chairwoman. I apologize. Okay, I can begin reading all bids that were received, beginning with marginal number 1, Segundo Navarro Drilling Limited. Marginal number 0, Segundo Navarro Drilling, $8,700. Marginal number 4, Green Lake Energy 1 LLC, $7,200,320. Marginal number 4, Lakewood Energy Holdings LLC, $4,880,320. Marginal number 4, Incline Permium 2 LLC, $4,800,960. Marginal number 4, Dudley Land Company, $3,696,000. Marginal number 4, Vital Energy Incorporated, $2,720,320. Marginal number 4, Garnet Energy Capital, $1,600,640. Marginal number 4, Tex Horn LLC, $1,048,403.20. Marginal number 5, Vital Energy Incorporated, $120,000. Marginal number 10, VTX Energy Partners LLC, $2,562,560. Marginal number 10, Dudley Land Company, $1,600,000. Marginal number 10, Tex Horn LLC, $1,202,678.40. Marginal number 13, Jetta Operating Company Incorporated, $202,040. Marginal number 14, Boaz Energy 2 LLC, $34,710. Marginal number 15, Boaz Energy 2 LLC, $20,530. Marginal number 15, TRP Energy LLC, $10,880.90. Marginal number 16, 5L Properties Incorporated, $23,250. Marginal number 17, 5L Properties Incorporated, $37,200. Marginal number 18, Vestige Energy LLC, $11,331.50. Marginal number 19, Kirk Resources Incorporated, $41,765.10. Marginal number 20, Kirk Resources Incorporated, $30,801.11. Marginal number 21, Kirk Resources Incorporated, $15,024.60. Marginal number 25, TR Offshore LLC, $7,000. Marginal number 28, Sabine Oil and Gas Corporation, $47,911.50. Marginal number 41, William Osborne, $37,725. Marginal number 52, Eagle Oil and Gas Company, $22,515. Marginal number 53, Eagle Oil and Gas Company, $22,515. Marginal number 54, Imperium Energy LLC, $6,000. Marginal number 56, Flow Tex Oil Company LLC, $21,006. Marginal number 57, Carnes Natural Gas Limited, $12,520. Marginal number 58, Carnes Natural Gas Limited, $6,260. Marginal number 62, ConocoPhillips Company, $202,110. That concludes all bids received.
All right. Well, since we already approved it, does anyone wish to reconsider? Okay, then there being no further business before the school land board, the May 7th, 2024 meeting's adjourned. Thank you.